And here we go. Back with part two of today's Family Health Experts. We extend a warm welcome to Dr. Tony Milliano of Audiology and Hearing Center, taking your hearing questions at 1-888-208-6946. Give us a call. We'll get an answer for you here in the next few minutes. But we have a question from Marjorie, who says, I've heard that hearing loss can increase your risk for dementia. Why is that?
Yeah, that's actually true. There was a study that came out of Johns Hopkins University that found that untreated hearing loss individuals with untreated hearing loss are 3 times more likely to develop dementia. And actually, once that dementia starts, it's progresses 5 times more rapidly. And it has to do with the amount of engagement for a person. The more hearing loss they have, the less they tend to engage in activities. The less they engage in activities, the more it exaggerates their dementia, and it's just kind of a snowballing effect.
Dr. Milliano, I think we're starting now to figure out how much hearing loss is related to other items, which leads us to another question from Benji, who says, how is heart disease related to hearing loss? Is there a connection?
There is. Heart disease, with heart disease, there's constriction of the blood cells. The ear thrives on oxygen, and the way it gets that oxygen is through the blood flow. So anytime there's a restriction of blood flow, there's potential for hearing loss as well. And actually, comorbidities such as diabetes, there's about 25% of the people that have diabetes also have some level of hearing loss. So it's something you need to get checked out.
Got a couple of minutes left for your questions at 1-888-208-6946 if you have a question regarding hearing. And Melanie has kind of a statement, kind of a question, but she says, my dad seems to hear my brother on the phone fine, but I have to constantly repeat myself. Do you think he needs hearing aids? And is it one of those things where you can hear certain voices better than others?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. It's typically a lot easier to understand someone who has a big, deep bass voice, kind of like I have. Because the average individual with hearing loss has a high frequency hearing loss, or their hearing loss is more severe in the higher pitches and higher frequencies. It's kind of like your vision. Some people can see up far away, but they can't see up close. Well, with hearing, some people can hear the lower pitches and lower frequencies, but they have a more difficult time hearing the higher pitches and higher frequencies. So women and children typically have a higher pitched voice. Therefore, it's typically found that the women and children are more difficult to understand. So I would definitely recommend that you encourage your father to get a check on his hearing, because he very likely could have a hearing loss.
Got about a minute left, Dr. Milliano, and have a question from Roger, who says, I was told that I have mild high-frequency hearing loss due to my job. Can workers' comp pay for my hearing aids?
Well, that's a great question, and that, a lot of that depends on your job. It depends on the protections that were afforded you at your job. The first line of defense is to get an evaluation from a doctor of audiology to determine the actual underlying pathology of your hearing loss, and from there you can talk about if hearing protection was provided, if it was used consistently, things like that. So it's possible that it could be work-related. It's unable to be determined with just a little bit of information that we have here.
Well, if you have other questions and you're wondering about hearing loss, Dr. Milliano will be on here at 12:30 with a full half-hour program. And chances are, if you have any remaining questions, they'll answer those during that half hour. So, Dr. Tony, it won't be live, but we'll have you on recorded and have you on for a full half hour.
I've lost a little weight, lost a little facial hair, so.
All right, haven't we all? So anyway, thank you for watching this version of Family Health Experts. We'll have it up on our website very shortly at WPSDLocal6.com. Stay tuned for Dr. Milliano's show here in just about 8 minutes or so.